Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dreamleapers Inspiration. I'm your host, Harriet Cole. Very happy to be with you today, right now, whether in this very moment or on demand, whenever you choose to tune in. But it's time to check in, time to check into, what is our state? What state would you say you're in right now if you had to describe how you're feeling right now? What would you say? And given that the topic that I've chosen today is prioritize rest, I want to ask you very specifically, do you feel rested? Do you feel like you took the time that you needed to take yesterday evening, last night to refresh yourself? Do you feel like you do that on a regular basis? Do you take time? Do you pause to rest and rejuvenate your body, your being? Do you feel like you don't deserve to have the time to do that? That, well, you'll do that later? I've heard people say, "I don't need to rest now, you rest when you die." There are all kinds of sayings like that. How do you feel? How do you feel about your relationship to pausing, resting, rejuvenating, sleeping? Do you prioritize it? There's so many studies that have been conducted over the years, including recently, that talk about the importance and value of sleep and of rest. That it is very important for you to be able to pause and allow your body to be still. And stillness, not just the physical body, but your mind as well. Just to be, just to allow yourself to be and to have calm around your being. Because a lot of times you're getting insights if you allow yourself to have that space. But I know for a fact, for myself, my list is so long of the things that I have to do that, sometimes rest seems like it's over there. It's something that I'll get to. "Well, I have to do this one more thing. Well, the list is so long." And the list continues and continues, and then they get to a certain time of day, and it continues and continues. Does that happen to you? It certainly happens to me, and then there are occasions like, not a surprise. Actually, this has happened a few weekends in a row, probably because if you don't pause, your body will pause for you. But we've been working on a big project, and it has included scheduling interviews on the weekends. Let's say for the past month and a half, there've been a number of interviews scheduled on the weekends, and I'm gonna say that at least half of them I missed. Not because I was doing anything other than, I think, sleeping, because we scheduled them for in the morning, and on whatever the day was, a Saturday or a Sunday, I slept in. It was in my calendar, we knew that it was there, but the body needs to pause sometimes. The mind needs to pause sometimes, and when you don't do it, sometimes it'll do it for you. And so for all those people who I had to make up, I apologize. I think that one of the things that happens is you don't realize sometimes when you need to stop. How much further can you go? How many more things can you do? When do you need to step off and pause? And I'm going to say for myself, I'm not good at this. It's part of the reason why I'm putting it out here to all of us today, because I know a lot of people just go, 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 go. And I am at the top of that list. And it's not the healthiest thing to do. Your body needs to rest. Your mind needs to rest. Your being needs to rest. And when you allow yourself to rest, all kinds of great things can come of it. You actually can become so much better at whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Again, scientific studies have proven this, but also if you've ever had the experience, you get a good night's rest, you wake up in the morning, you're like, I think I can solve whatever that thing is that has been troubling me. I can look at a situation a little bit differently because I had time to be still. Stillness is valuable. I've been practicing meditation for more than 30 years. And in the practice of meditation, you learn how to still the mind, your body, just to slow down and be. Just be present. Slow down and be present. And when you do that, it has a way of rejuvenating you. It has a way of refreshing you, in part because you're stopping all that mental chatter. You're stopping all of the stuff that may have you in whatever state. Sometimes it's a lovely state, but it's, an active state. But right through here, a lot of people are agitated for one reason or another. And if you are feeling agitated, if you're feeling caught up, worried, whatever, so we have lists. Pausing and resting, prioritizing rest, not hiding, resting can help you to be better at whatever it is that is on your list of things to accomplish. So I picked two quotes today because I thought there two ways in that I found out of many to kind of tackle this. So, Fallon, let's look at the first quote if you have it ready. And I'm going to here we go. The best bridge between despair and hope is a good night's sleep. It's from E. Joseph Kosman. Okay, close your eyes for a minute. Let's sit with this one. Breathe. Enjoy breathing in deeply and breathe out long. One more time. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out long. And a third time. Breathe in deeply and breathe out long. If you'd like, you can keep your eyes closed. I just want you to listen to this quote. The best bridge between despair and hope is a good night's sleep. Listen again. The best bridge between despair and hope is a good night's sleep. Now, let's say if you could consider that this would be true. If any of you right now is experiencing despair for any reason, it could be having something to do with your life circumstances. It could be work. It could be health. It could be family. It could be love life. It could be home. The various things that make up what our lives are and how we live. If you are experiencing despair in your world right now, and it makes you hold your breath, it makes you worry, it makes you have tremendous fear or contraction, a sense of not knowing what to do next, if not knowing how to climb out of a hole, whatever it might be, if you have that feeling of despair, it is likely that you're not sleeping well. It is likely that the tape is playing again and again in your head and in your heart. This is happening. How did I get here? What am I going to do about it? How can I? And feeling stuck. Like the world is coming to an end. For a lot of people, that's feeling right this minute. I am not diminishing it at all. I know a lot of people who are having feelings of despair. And this includes people of great faith. Sometimes we are taught that faith can be enough to get you beyond whatever your challenges are. And perhaps that's true. But it doesn't mean that you won't have despair if you are a person of faith. You'll have every emotion, every experience because you're a human being. Faith is not the preventer of these kinds of circumstances. So even if you're a person of faith, if you have experienced despair, if you are experiencing it now, this quote is suggesting that if you get a good night's sleep, it is possible to look at your life a little bit more clearly. It is possible that you can claim hope, that you can imagine the next moment being better than the one that you're in, that there's still a possibility that no matter how bad things are, they can get better. I think that's faith, hope, faith, potential. And sometimes it's hard to see that. But imagine, and maybe you don't have to because maybe you've gone through this. Have you had sleepless nights where the thoughts just going through your head? Whatever is tormenting you is playing, swirling in your head and in your heart. Your stomach hurts, your heart aches, you're not eating well. There's a list. We all have different things, but there are a number of things that often happen when you are holding on to fear and worry, despair. Go to sleep. Now, it's not going to sleep to hide. It's going to sleep to let go, going to sleep to rejuvenate, to allow yourself to get to a place of neutrality, of peace, of potential. So if your eyes open differently and you go, okay, I can look at this in a different way. Maybe there is a sign right before me of something I can do, but I haven't noticed it. I remember years ago, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. And for anybody who's an entrepreneur, probably many of us, it goes like this, it goes in waves. Sometimes things are really good, and sometimes, there are hills and peaks and valleys. I was at a valley point and not sure, what am I supposed to be doing now? What's happening? And at this time, I had mm, some months before I guess started crocheting again. This is quite a few years ago. And my daughter was young, and I needed to find something to do with her because it was a rainy day. And I taught her how to crochet, and I started crocheting again, and it became this very peaceful practice for me. And so while I was in my office doing whatever I was doing, working, I was also crocheting. It became like kind of therapy for me. Anyway, on this particular day, I was asking the question, what am I supposed to do right now? And I looked down and I saw that I was making this beautiful thing because I'd gotten to the point that what I was making was really special. And I said, maybe I should be doing this. And for 10 years I went from maybe I should do this to creating a business of these really modern looking crocheted items. Some of you may remember it was called 108 Stitches. 108 is a spiritual number. And I participated in all kinds of activities in Lincoln Center, craft fair, and traveling all over to offer my art to the world. And it lasted for about 10 years. It was really a wonderful experience. It turned out to not be the most efficient business to maintain, just because it was very expensive to maintain, and it was primarily me doing it. I had help, but help finishing things. Anyhow, the point of it is it lasted for 10 years. It was a really good run, and the answer to the question came when I looked at just what was around me. What am I doing? What's around me? Where's the bounty? Where are the resources? And it was right in front of my face. What's right in front of your face? And can you see it? I find that if you get rest, if you pause, if you can rejuvenate yourself, it's easier to see. And that's why I love this quote. best bridge between despair and hope is a good night's sleep. So let's take a look at the second quote that I found because I like the two. I think that it can help us to reframe how we look at life in the world. So, Valen, if you have that second one, if you would pull that up, please, that would be great. This one says, sleep is the golden chain that ties health and our bodies together. Isn't that nice? From Thomas Dekker. Sleep is the golden chain that ties health and our bodies together. I love the image of that. A golden chain is like a beautiful trinket, something beautiful, delicate, yet strong. It's the golden chain that ties health and our bodies together. How often do you feel better after you've gotten a good night's rest? I joke with my assistant all the time and say, I need a nap. And I have hardly done it. But what I have done, and actually we were meeting up because we mainly work virtually, but we were meeting up every week or so for a while and working furiously on lots of different things. And what I do, not like get in a bed nap, but I will sit back and take like 5 minutes and just, this is not meditation. This is like sort of go to sleep. Just, and it's rejuvenating. Imagine if you actually go to sleep whenever those moments are. Sleep is the golden chain that ties health and our bodies together. Your body needs to heal, just like plugging in the phone, plugging in the electric car, plugging in anything that you need to use, equipment that you need to use that is electrified, you have to plug it in somehow. And if it is a battery that gets filled, you have to plug it in long enough for the battery to be refilled. And we know this concept really well because of our phones. And how many times have you found yourself somewhere out? You've been using your phone like crazy. Now we use these phones like they are computers. You can read books on them. You can play games on them. You can talk on them. You can make video on them. You can have a video call and you can make a video. You can do research on them. You can write on them. You can do equations on them. I mean, you can do just about anything. Well, if you are doing all these things on your phone, you're draining the energy very quickly. I'm going to guess that the charger market for, the accessories market, chargers, the charger packs, all those things to keep your battery working, that business might even be bigger than the actual phone businesses. And phones are really expensive. If you overuse your equipment and don't plug it back in, it dies, right? Maybe not forever, but it stops working. It warned you. 10% warning, it turns red. Plug in. You only have 10% of your battery life left. 2%. Oh no. 2%. If you have to tell somebody where you're going to be, you have to let them know. And don't call me because my phone's probably going to not work. Most of us have had that experience more than once. Okay, look at that experience and think about yourself. Think about yourself as a cell phone. How often do you forget to recharge? And recharging is in a lot of ways. To eat, to drink water, to exercise, to be still, to sleep. How often do you do the things that you know you need to do in order to be optimal? How often do you forget? Hi there. So this is the goat says hi. How often? How often do you allow your battery to run out? The battery of your being. And then you wonder, why can't I do anything? Why is my mind not sharp? Why am I not able to accomplish whatever the thing is that I've told myself I need to do? What's on my list? You know, I'm the queen of lists. I believe you make your list, you make it manageable, and then you check off each action that you've put on that list so that you can accomplish it. Well, sometimes, I'll say for me, sometimes when I'm super busy, you might find this hard to believe, but sometimes when I'm super busy, I don't even make the list. That's when I know, ooh, too busy, girl, because I believe in the list. So if I haven't made the list, what's going on, right? But when you make the list and you begin to check it off, then you can see, how well am I doing? When I am at my very best, part of I break my list down into different components of my life because we have one life, but a full life has lots of elements in it, right? So I include drink water, walk. I don't put sleep, but maybe I should. My phone has a what do they call it? It has a recommendation for when you should go to bed based upon your sleep patterns. And so mine will tell me, it'll alert me, time for bed, time for bed. And then it tells you, well, if you go to bed at this time, this is when you should get up to have enough sleep. I will admit that I don't normally follow that. It rings, it tells me, and then I go, okay, am I going to follow it today? Or how close to the time that it is advising me to shut down, wind down, turn everything off, stop working, close my eyes and go to sleep? How long between when it tells me and when I do it? I like that the gadgets can support us by reminding us of what we know already, but it doesn't matter if you don't do it. So I ask you, do you have devices that give you information and that is information you have told it, and do you follow it? Do you? Think of yourself as a computer, the computer for you, for your life. And are you overtaxing the computer of you? Are you allowing yourself to recharge fully? What are you doing to take care of yourself? You know, I think it's so important for us to think about this seriously. And I say it in that way because when we're super busy, it's a yeah, I'm getting this done, I'm getting that done, getting this done, getting that done, and then the day ends and you get up and do it all over again. That can feel like they say on the hamster wheel, right? Step off, pause, be still, refresh yourself, plug in, whatever that means for you. And it's in the moment of awareness. You know how this broadcast starts saying that we can pause together, we can take this moment together. Well, what does it mean for you to actually pause? Like even now, if you're tuned in, this means that you have carved out time for you for this moment to be able to pause. Uh, you know, if if you can do that, then you're able to be still and reflect. Breathe. Trust that messages come when you pause. Clarity comes for your health, it's your mental and your physical health. It I could say this a million times, but I'm hoping that you really do hear it. And I'm hoping I really do hear it. I said it, I brought it up as a topic today because I need to remember. I'm on a tight deadline and we are grinding. Everybody on my team is grinding to meet this deadline, and we're working hard and working well and honoring each other and supporting each other. It's a beautiful experience that we're going through getting to our goal, and it's a lot. And it's a lot on top of all the other stuff we do. It's not like when you have a big project, generally, it's not like everything else goes away. You still have the other things too, right? So we have all the other things plus this big project. And so pausing is not really part of the deadline schedule, let's just say, except for it is, except for getting up in the middle of the day, standing up, walking, moving your body. um, Natalie, who works with me, said, "You need to stand up now. Let's stand up. It's time to stand up." My watch says stand up. My watch also says go to sleep. Do we really need the watch to say it? Doesn't our body tell us? Don't you feel it inside when it's time to care for yourself? Or have we gotten to the place where we are so just churning it out that we ignore everything? Sometimes. But here's what I can tell you, because I know many people, women in particular, who push through everything. I was on a panel at a women's conference a number of years ago, and the women, actually, this particular panel I wasn't on, I was listening. There were all these corporate women who were talking about their careers, and this one woman, very high-level executive Black woman, which already there are very few very high-level Black female executives in corporate America, but she was at the top in the C-suite, and she described how she had to slow down because she had been going, going, going. One day she didn't feel so good, but she had to take the kids to school. She had to do something for her husband. She had to go to XYZ meetings for work. She didn't feel good, but she just said, okay, fine. At some point I'll pause and maybe I'll call a doctor, whatever. She didn't. She pushed through, pushed through. Her body was screaming at her, something's wrong, something's wrong. When she got home that night, she told her husband, "Oh, I'm not feeling so well." And in the night, she realized something is really wrong. They called the ambulance. She had just had a major heart attack. The symptoms weren't classic male symptoms, but she had, I don't even remember what they all were, but here's the thing. Whatever it was, her body was hurting her. Her body was telling her, stop, 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 stop. There was a throbbing occurring in her body, and she prioritized her job, her kids, her husband, her deadlines over her physical, mental, spiritual self. And she almost died. She lived to tell us so we could hear it. She told us it was hard after that, after she healed, to not go right back to that hamster wheel, because that's what she knew. And so I want to say to us, we don't have to go back to the hamster wheel. And the way that I've best been able to manage this is going back to the lists. So my lists include health, family, home, and then in work is broken down into all the different projects. So when I have a good list, it's long. It probably has 20 to 40 things on it, but I make them small enough to manage. And when I'm really busy like I am now, I write down, drink water. I write down, meditate. I write down the things that I stand up and walk, because I will sit in front of this computer 4 hours and then my legs start hurting. I'm wondering why. We can prioritize rest. We can prioritize health. We can prioritize taking care of ourselves so that we can be refreshed and able to be our very best for whatever moment we are in and whatever we are facing, no matter how challenging it may be. And trust me, on my list right now are worrisome things. On my list right now are things that I don't know how to solve. And I have been wrestling with that. Am I going to allow whatever those things are to cripple me? Or am I going to allow myself to rejuvenate and see better and figure out a way forward? I choose that. I choose rejuvenation and doing my best to see better. And know that I'm not alone, and neither are you. When you feel alone, you're not. Open your eyes and look around. When you feel you need help, ask for it. When you know you have to take better care of yourself, do one thing for yourself in that moment. One step at a time makes us better. Prioritize rest. Prioritize honoring yourself. Prioritize life. Prioritize your life. Don't allow the grind to grind you down. Pause, rest, love yourself. You are worth it. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, have a great day and make it count. Namaste.